Let me tell you something. There's a box. A big, black box sitting right in the middle of your town. No windows. No doors you can open. Just a box. Now listen, you work hard every single day. You sweat. Your hands get tired. You build things, you serve people, you create value. End of the month comes, and you take every dollar you earned, that's your time, that's your life, and you put it through a little slot in this box. Some guy in a nice suit is standing there, smiling at you, looks trustworthy. He gives you a piece of paper and says, "Don't worry. Your money's safe. I'm watching it for you. Trust me." You go home. You feel all right. You think your money's sitting in a vault somewhere. But you know what keeps people awake at night? You can't look inside that box. You have no idea if your money's really in there. Maybe he lent it to his brother-in-law who gambles. Maybe he's printing more receipts than there's actual money in the box. Maybe the box is completely empty and it's all just promises. You just have to trust him. And if you've been paying attention to what we've talked about before, trusting people with your money, that's where the trouble starts. Look at what's happened. In 1929, millions of folks trusted the box, lost everything, wiped out. In 2008, the box almost fell apart again, and who paid to fix it? You did. The taxpayers did. And just a few years ago in 2022, banks in Lebanon locked their doors and people couldn't get their own savings out to buy food for their families. Think about that for a minute. For 500 years, this is just how things worked. The black box system. We had no choice. Want to send money to your daughter in another state? You need the box. Want to save for your retirement? You need the box. Want to buy a house? You need the box. We were completely stuck with their permission. But what if I told you, there's a way to break that box wide open? What if we could build a system with no secrets? Where every transaction isn't hidden in some corporate filing cabinet, but carved on a giant stone tablet right in the town square, where everybody can see it. A system where you don't have to trust any person at all, you just trust the math? Now, they use fancy words for this stuff. Blockchain. Bitcoin. Forget those words for a minute. Those are just technical terms that make regular people feel stupid. I'm going to tell you the story of the stone tablet. And when we're done, you'll understand money better than most of those Wall Street guys in their fancy offices. My name is your guide. This is the Wealth Fortress. Let's get into it. To understand what's coming, we need to go back to simpler times. Think about a small village from way back, 1,000 years ago. No gold coins. No paper money. Definitely no banks. Instead, right in the center of town, there's this huge stone tablet. Towers over everything. This thing is made of something harder than you can imagine. Once you carve something into it, that's it. Forever. You can't erase it. You can't change it. You can't cover it up. This stone tablet is the village's memory. The truth. This is how they handle money. Say Alice wants to pay Bob 50 credits for a cow. She doesn't hand him cash. She doesn't write a check. She walks to the town square, stands right there in front of the tablet, and shouts out loud, "I, Alice, am giving 50 credits to Bob." Now, the villagers don't just take her word for it. There's a group of workers, let's call them the stone carvers, and they come running over. They look at what's already carved in the stone. They check what happened yesterday, last week, 5 years ago. They're asking one simple question. Does Alice actually have 50 credits? They look up the tablet. Yeah, right there. 5 years back, Alice sold some corn and got 100 credits. She hasn't spent it yet. The record's clear as day. She's got the money. So the carvers grab their tools. Plink, plink, plink. They carve it right into the stone, permanent. Alice gives Bob 50 credits. Now watch what happens. Everyone in the village sees it. Everyone agrees. Bob knows he got paid, not because Alice promised, not because some banker sent him a letter, but because the stone tablet says so. And the stone tablet doesn't lie. Now let's say some crook shows up at night. We'll call him the corrupt banker. He wants to steal. He sneaks into the square with something to scratch the stone. He's trying to erase the part that says Alice paid Bob. But the stone's too hard. Won't budge. He tries covering it with mud. He tries writing a lie over it. He wants it to say, Alice gave the money to me. But remember, the stone tablet is public. Every single person in the village has their own little notebook in their pocket. Every time something gets carved on the big tablet, everyone copies it into their own book. Next morning, sun comes up. Everybody wakes up. They walk to the square. They see the mud. They see someone tried to lie. And right away, 500 people pull out their notebooks and say, "Hold on. That's not what my book says. That's a lie." The lie gets thrown out instantly. The truth wins. The crook can't do anything about it. You see where I'm going with this? This is exactly how blockchain works. The stone tablet is the computer network. The carvers are computers doing the hard work. The tech folks call them miners. And the villagers with notebooks? Those are thousands of computers all over the world keeping their own copy. They call those nodes. It's like a bank with glass walls. A bank where everyone's checking everyone else's work. A bank where nobody can cheat, because to cheat, you'd have to sneak into thousands of houses at once and change thousands of notebooks at the same time. Can't be done. And that openness, that honesty, that's exactly why the people who own the black box are scared to death. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute. This is on computers. I know computers can be hacked. Someone can copy a photo. Someone can copy a song. Why can't they just copy the money? Good question. Best question, actually. With the old internet, you're absolutely right. If I email you a document, I still have it on my computer. I can send that same document to 1 million people. This is what they call the double spend problem. It's why we never had real digital money before. But the stone tablet fixes this with something clever. Really clever. Every time a carver wants to write a page of transactions on the stone, they can't just write it. They have to solve this incredibly hard puzzle first. Think of the hardest crossword puzzle you've ever seen, then multiply that by 1 billion. Takes them about 10 minutes of serious work to figure it out. Uses a ton of energy. It's genuinely difficult. That's why they call it proof of work. Once they solve it, they lock that page with what we call a digital seal. Now think like a thief for a second. Say some hacker wants to go back and change something from last month. Wants to erase a payment he made for his car. He's got a big problem. Because of how the math works, if he changes even one tiny thing on an old page, that digital seal breaks. And when that seal breaks, it messes up the next page's puzzle. And the next page's puzzle. And the next one. To actually pull off the hack, he'd have to break the seal, solve that massive puzzle again, and solve every single puzzle for every page that came after. And he'd have to do it faster than everyone else in the world combined. Mathematically? Impossible. To hack Bitcoin today, you'd need more computer power than exists on Earth. You'd need more electricity than some countries use in a whole year. That's why in 15 years, the Bitcoin network has never been hacked. Not once. Sure, some websites got hacked, but those are just regular companies. Yeah, people lost their passwords, but that's just folks forgetting things, not the system breaking. But the stone tablet itself? Perfect. Untouched. It's the most secure money system humans have ever built. And it's not made of steel or concrete or armed guards. It's made of pure mathematics. Remember when we talked about inflation? The silent thief? We learned that the problem with the dollar, the euro, all that paper money, is that the government can print more whenever they want. Need money for a war? Print more. Want to win an election? Print more. Made a big mistake? Print more. They water down your hard work. They steal your time. Your money becomes worth less every year. But the stone tablet has a rule built right into it. A rule that no president, no king, no army can ever change. There will only ever be 21 million coins. 21 million. That's it. Done. Even if 10 billion people are on Earth someday. Even if the economy grows huge. The number of coins stays the same. This makes it deflationary. Makes it just like gold. Why is gold valuable? Because there's only so much of it. You can't just make more gold appear. You have to dig it out of the ground. It's hard to get. It's rare. Bitcoin is digital gold. first time in human history we made something truly rare in the digital world. When you hold $1, you're holding a slice of a pie that keeps getting sliced thinner. The government keeps baking more pie, so your slice gets smaller and smaller. When you hold a piece of the stone tablet, you're holding a slice of a pie that can't get any bigger. Nobody can bake more. Your slice stays your slice. That's why, over time, yeah, it goes up and down, gets bumpy, but overall the value has gone up. Not because the stone tablet is worth more, but because those dollars we used to buy it, they're becoming worthless. Now you see why they hate this so much. You see the news. It's a scam. Criminals use it. It's dangerous. Of course they say that. The guy making candles hated the light bulb. Said electricity would burn your house down. But because the light bulb put him out of business. The guy driving horse carriages hated the automobile. Said it was loud and scary. But because cars made him obsolete. The stone tablet makes the black box obsolete. If Alice can pay Bob directly on the stone tablet, why does she need the bank to charge her $30 for a wire transfer? If Alice can keep her money on the stone tablet, why does she need the bank to give her basically zero interest while they lend her money out at high rates? If Alice can send money to her grandson across the country in 10 minutes, why does she need to wait 3 days for the bank to process it? They're trying to scare you away because they know something. Once you understand the stone tablet, you'll realize the black box has been empty all along. They're losing control over you. They're losing their spot as the gatekeepers. Their monopoly is ending. And they're terrified. Look, I'm not telling you to sell everything and bet it all on internet money. That would be foolish. That's gambling, not building. I'm telling you to understand what's happening. The smart person building their financial fortress uses every good material they can find. They use gold because it's stable. They use land because it's useful. And now, in 2025, they use the stone tablet because it gives them control. Because when you hold your own keys to this tablet, nobody can freeze your account. Nobody can take your money. Nobody can stop you from giving it to your kids. Nobody can tell you, no. That's freedom. You worked your whole life for your money. Now there's a way to keep it in a form that can't be watered down, can't be censored, can't be erased. Next time, we're going to pry open that black box and show you its darkest secret. Banks lend out money they don't actually have. We'll talk about the empty vault. But right now, remember this, the world's changing. The ground is shifting under our feet. Don't hold on to something that's melting away. Look for the stone. My name is your guide. This is the Wealth Fortress. Subscribe, verify, and let's keep building.